What's up, Fishing Fanatics? So I'm going to apologize ahead of time before anybody sees it and makes a comment on it. This tank needs some serious cleaning. But the cool part is we have some Tibee shrimp. There's roughly 8 or 9 of them in here, scattered. And like I said, don't be judgmental. The tank needs to be cleaned. Right now our water is currently just riddled with ammonia, so we're having to use mostly RO water to do all of the water changes, and we're limited on what we can do per day. So even if I run it, it's 100 gallons per day. Even if I run it all day, I'm only getting to like 3 or 4 tanks because I can't run it while we're sleeping, obviously. So I'm pretty much at having over 30 tanks. It takes me 8 days just to get through a cycle, and it's just been crazy. So just a word of the wise and a bit of advice: if you guys are in a more rural area with all of the heavier snows, check your water, because we did lose a batch of fish to it and it wasn't pleasant. So yeah, but you can see there's another one of the guys there, and then there's one down here on the filter, and there's another one that's up here. Looks like 2 of them are up here. Yep. There's another one up here. So yeah, they're scattered amongst the tank. They're still in here, but these guys have been with us now for just over a week. And I was hoping somebody would crawl out of there. There's usually someone hiding under that. But anyways, these guys have been with us for just over a week, about a week and a half now. They're doing really well. We did have one loss, and I think that was just because they were coming from a different type of water than ours. Even though you use RO, you still have some variances in like the pH, the KH, the GH and stuff. So even with it all being filtered out, how you remineralize and what your regular water is can affect it. We don't use 100% RO for anything, not even these guys. For us, it's easier just to add a little bit of tap to get the TDS up and the GH and the KH up, versus trying to remineralize soil that degrades over time. We can simply go in, add just a smidge of water that's set to the same parameters as this to top it off, and we don't have to worry about water changes. We don't have to worry about affecting the KH or the GH, which tends to happen with Caridina shrimp when they're more sensitive to those changes. So it's easier for us to do it this way. But you can see we have Indian almond leaves in here. There's some Malaysian driftwood in here. We have hornwort to help with ammonia, or with nitrates rather. There's some moss in here, which we need to get more of. So if these guys decide to get happy and start reproducing, they'll have a place to go. But you can see they're doing really well. Like I said, we have one loss from the acclimation process, which isn't surprising considering these guys are a little more finicky. But everyone's doing really well. Oh, there's another one back here on the leaf too. They're all doing really well. You can see there's one skirting along. They've all found kind of their own little niche and they're happy, and we've enjoyed them thus far. We were absolutely terrified when we first got them because we have the capability of doing Caridinas, but we've never really had the courage to do them because they are a little more sensitive. They are a little bit harder to take care of, only when it comes to setting it up. Once it's set up, they're fine. Not a big deal. Like I said, you just top off their tanks every so often. Make sure that your water parameters equal the water parameters in the tank, and they're fine. So it's just that initial setup that's terrifying, and we were so worried that we weren't going to get it set up right. And even after talking to a bunch of people, reading a bunch of stuff, and already taking care of shrimp before, it was still a little worrisome because we hadn't tried them yet. So our pH right now in this tank is at about 7. Our KH is right around 1.5, and the GH is right around 4 to 5. So this is pretty well within parameters of where they need to be. And that was my only concern, was the initial setup. But once we got them set up, they've been doing really well. I know I could have swore I seen one hiding in the moss. Yeah, I must have seen something else. Anyways, so yeah, if you're going to try Caridina, you need RO water for sure. It's an absolute necessity. You can pick it up as distilled water from your local grocery stores. A lot of local fish stores will carry RO water or distilled water. It's anything that has all of the minerals and metals stripped out of it, so it's essentially purified water. And you're going to need that just for the simple fact that these guys definitely need to have a lower GHKH. TDS needs to be right around 110, 120 or so. So make sure that before you go to get them, you have your tank set up. It's been running for quite some time. This tank has ran for well over a year. We had a couple of fish in it, a couple of fish out of it, bouncing back and forth. We finally decided we'd take a shot, and here they are. And as you can see, they're doing really well. So, just figured I'd show you an update on some of the cooler stuff that we've picked up, because it's not all that often that we have new shrimp. And the plan is to expand them, so we'll see how it goes. We're going to be adding, hopefully, some more shrimp soon. But anyways, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, please drop them in the box below. If you haven't already, do us a huge favor, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And as always, happy fish keeping.